We have sat for 10 hours in a funeral for our constitution, yes. A funeral for our democracy, a funeral for our institutions. We have presided over the funeral of the country and the Republic of Kenya.
Why would you particularly say this was a funeral of our constitution?
Yeah, because you could see the judicial nonsense that was there. They allow some of the things. They say His Excellency Gachagwa's rights were violated. Yeah. And instead of doing what is rightfully constitutional right to quash, they avoid. Yes. When they say that there was no modification of the procedures in the Senate, they recommend for legislation. That's what I've told them. We never came here for recommendations on legislations. We have elected members of parliament to legislate. So we never came here for to seek orders and to seek a recommendation for legislation. Yeah. That is why we are saying the constitution has been buried today.
The constitution has
yes.
been buried.
Yes.
Wakili, a quick one. Your client has actually, because you represent
yes.
other members here, the court said we cannot have two deputy presidents.
No, that's nonsensical.
We cannot.
That's again judicial nonsense. It's judicial nonsense because the consequences of finding that the impeachment has been quashed is that Kindiki should have vacated. I don't know where they got that from. That's why you're calling it judicial nonsense.
But you are not pursuing.
You know, this is a high court bench. It is a court that Kenyans depend on for various controversial constitutional matters, for interpretation, for guidance. To think that it does not have the guts to stand up to the executive. I mean, we can only say that it seems that the executive is so deeply embedded into the judiciary. And we must ask as Kenyans, who will protect Kenyans from the executive overreach?
The question of the court's finding regarding Gachagwa's rights having been infringed and still going ahead not to overturn that particular impeachment is what you're speaking to, and is what also the council who spoke immediately after the ruling have alluded to. But now you're pointing out that the judiciary, or in this particular ruling, has disappointed Kenyans. Then what is the next course of actions?
We are certainly going to proceed to the Court of Appeal. Some of us, the petitioners, have already filed. I am the third petitioner in the matter. I have already filed a notice of appeal, and we are just waiting for them to expedite supplying us with the certified copies of pleadings and a certified copy of the judgment so that we can proceed, because we will not allow this to stand and be the last final point in regards to how our law should be interpreted. We will go to the Court of Appeal. We hope to get justice there. If we don't, we will go to the Supreme Court, because we cannot allow this to pass. I mean, future proceedings like that will refer to such judgments, and it is unfortunate. So like they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. We shall get going. It is not about the money. It is not about the money. It is about the integrity of the Constitution of Kenya. It is about the integrity of the processes that are undertaken by our institutions that are governed by law. So no, certainly I would not recommend. And I am certain, because I know Rigathi Gachagua very well, he would not even take that, because we did not come to court to get awarded monies. We came here for justice. We came here to defend the rule of law and the constitution that Kenyans passed in 2010.
We haven't seen your client in court today. Where was he today?
Our client was watching from home with his family. The legal representatives are all here. It is not mandatory that the client attends. And given that, of course, there was propaganda that perhaps maybe there could be something planned, we would not want him implicated in anything. He's a peace-loving Kenyan. He has called upon all his supporters to take whatever outcome of today's judgment, knowing that we shall proceed to the Court of Appeal and maintain peace and order so that we can give our institutions sufficient time to interrogate this judgment today.
How best perhaps